content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to audiences. Your discretion is advised.
Hey folks, you probably tuned in thinking that you were going to get some bright, smart, energetic commentary about things that matter in this world. Well, you're wrong. You're on Wrestling POV Global, and we're going to talk some nonsense. I'm your host, the legend, TJ Logan, and with me, the sometimes inebriated, but mostly inebriated, womanizer himself. He scraped himself out of rehab, and that was sexual rehab, not just alcoholic rehab, to be here today, the gentleman, and the way to say he's not always that gentle, Elio Canella. Elio,
what's going on?
You drunk SOB, what are you up to?
A whole lot of no good.
Apparently, the RCMP have been back many times. Young girls in the area are being locked up by their fathers. This is a weird situation, right?
What?
On the bright side, if I tell people that I'm your co-host at liquor stores, I get 35% off tequila.
Hey,
wow.
Friends of Alanis have alcohol fueled me for this week's episode, and Alanis herself suggested, Elio, you should have your glass of tequila with you.
Wow. Okay, now, Alanis is actually talking to you directly these days?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, Elio, do not hit on her. We cannot lose our goddess. Do not mess this up for us, okay?
Don't worry about that. Nothing to worry about there.
Well, speaking about messed up things, why don't we start off this week with the regular nonsense that we call a poll.
Okay.
All right. Now, you know what? This week was a painful one for me to talk about. I'm going to say that right now, folks. It was kind of a painful thing, but it really is at the point where we have to bring it up. Whoa, What are you doing there? And Elio, you're going to kill me with those coughing, man. Drink some more tequila. Okay, now here we go, folks. This week, our poll was about ROH. Now, Ring of Honor is a company I've enjoyed for many years. I've talked about this. My love for ROH has really gone back quite a ways. The problem, however, I'm finding as we review our shows every week is that consistently the ROH show is coming in at 0 points, not getting any points or love from us. And it's not that we don't want to give it. It's just the fact that either A, it's being really kind of boring, B, it has no good structure to it, or C, the other shows are just way better than it.
Yep.
So I had to throw that question out there. I wanted to see if other fans were feeling this, seeing this, and wondering about it. And the question I asked is Ring of Honor on a total downward spiral, or will things get better? Now, before we get to your comments and answers to this, Elio, I'm going to ask you, is Ring of Honor on a total downward spiral? I mean, is it on a spiral to the end, or will things get better? Has it just hit a rut?
I think it just hit like a bump in the road because I hope things do get better, but I wouldn't say they're on a downward spiral. They're not Impact Wrestling level. I wouldn't say that. I think they just hit a bump in the road.
Now, you know what? I also took that view. I thought, you know what? We've seen ROH struggle before in the past. Mm-hmm. And I thought, myself, I had to vote with saying, I think it's going to get better. But however, looking at the poll this week, 63% of the fans say this is a total downward spiral to the end for Ring of Honor.
Unbelievable.
Ouch. But after looking at those numbers, I came in here and when I saw those numbers, I started to think in my head, why would so many people react like that? And I guess it's because the ROH of yesteryear could not really hold up as a program with the programs we're seeing today. And I guess that's what fans are talking about is unless ROH finds a way, it doesn't have to change its wrestling. but it has to change the way it's delivering it to us.
Yep.
Because the way they're delivering it to it is not, frankly, making it that exciting. One good match a week with a bunch of with nothing in between is pretty tough. Other companies
no segments, only highlights.
No character development. How am I supposed to invest in these characters if I'm someone new? I mean, I've watched the show for years, so I know that the Briscoes are great. If you don't know who the Briscoes are, why do you care about them?
Right.
Exactly. So, first of all, we had one comment. Well, I'm going to get a couple comments, but the first comment was from Daniel Fryer, and he said they need an extra hour. Well, what the hell does that mean? They need an extra hour. Do you think they're getting worse or bad? I like the sentiment, but unfortunately, Daniel, you didn't really answer the question for me. Maybe you did in the poll, but I can't tell that. So, all right. Thomas Kinney says, circling the drain.
No, come on.
That's Impact. That's definitely Impact. But obviously, Thomas feels that, it's on a downward slide enough. By the way, you know where that came from, that infamous quote of circling down the drain in relation to wrestling. Do you know where that came from, Elio?
I'm not sure. Where?
I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. Basically, it came from Jesse Ventura when he had moved from AWA to the WWF at the time, and somebody asked him what he thought of the AWA, and he said it was basically that last circle before you hit the bottom of the toilet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, okay, you know what, Thomas? I see the struggling, but I don't think it's that far gone yet. You still got the lower third of Impact below it. So,
and they have another show coming up soon, Unbreakable or something. That's gonna be another one. Jeez.
All right, so let's take a look at some comments we got here. Jeffrey Knight the Second says,
my friend the Knight. Okay.
The second night. When the Villain Enterprises joins AEW, it's a wrap. Ooh, good point. I mean, that is definitely going to be a telling thing if we see Villain Enterprise jump to AEW. Okay, I can see that. Daniel Barkley says, I'd be honest, I totally forgot who the ROH champion was since Dalton Castle. Well, you know what? That is very much true because, ouch. I mean,
that can be said about any company, though. Like if the championship has no meaning, right? And
true.
if it's not relevant anymore, like the Universal Championship, like if we didn't know like what happened at the last pay-per-view, we wouldn't know who the champion is. Sometimes I forget who the champions are sometimes.
Yeah, but he's talking about since Dalton Castle. I mean, that's a good year back,
Yeah, that's ways back.
So, I mean, that is not a good sign if you know the product's out there and you can't even remember who the champion is for the last year.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, okay? Jeffrey Knight II, of course, responds back with, short of rating other indie promotions for talent and getting a somewhat decent financial backer, I don't see how they can really come back. They may not go out of business, but they may just fade into obscurity. And you know what? I'm going to agree with you with that one, Jeffrey. That is kind of the struggle here. I don't think they're totally going to go out of business, but they could just fade into obscurity and become just another independent that nobody really sees on a national level anymore. Now, folks, like I said, thank you for participating. It was a tough one for me this week. Mm-hmm. We're definitely going to rack our brains for another one next week. It's part of the fun that's on WPOV Global. But let's go into some news items for this week, all right?
Okay.
Now, I've got a few news items I want to talk about. Some of them, they just have to things that affect, indie wrestling as a whole, and some with some minor stuff. One of the things I want to say right now is just some interesting thing. Now, I don't know if we mentioned this before. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it may become one. It seems that MLW has started a working relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan, and they're going to be doing pretty soon their N1 Victory tournament. And MLW is going to send over Alex Hammerstone, the current overweight champion, underweight champion, something like that. Openweight champion.
Openweight.
The overweight champion. 650 pounds of slob. No, Hammerstone is the muscle. What is it? The Musclehead? The Musclehead Award? No. Okay, sorry. Openweight. There we go. Openweight. Although Musclehead kind of fits for him. Anyhow, congratulations to Alex Hammerstone. That'll be very interesting for MLW. A quick signing, the company who don't really watch anymore, Impact, has signed Tennille Dashwood.
That should be interesting.
Now here, we just talked about our poll, and we've been doing lots of comparisons about Impact and ROH. It's kind of scary to note that Tennille was over at ROH just a little while ago before coming over to the Impact. Yep. So, is that a lateral move, or is that a move up, a move down? I guess that's
interesting. Like, first she signs with ROH, and then she leaves ROH, and now she signs with Impact.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what to say about that. That's going to be interesting. Now, I laughed because when I told you I was saying this news, you say again what you said to me after I said this. I said that the news was that the Fight Network is going to air the AAA's US Lucha specials.
Fight Network, is that still around?
Yeah. It's really kind of seems to be slipping off the radar these days, that's for sure.
Is that the Impact channel of television?
I don't know, but I mean, there was a time where me and you used to go there for our ROH, and I mean, how frustrating it was to have so much technical difficulties and stuff. And hopefully they've gotten that to a better keel. I know since that's happened, I haven't gone back to Fight. And I don't know how many people they've lost since that, but I mean, it's not cool struggling to watch your television shows.
No, it's terrible.
And the other news that I have regards an interesting combination. Now, we've talked about ROH and New Japan had a bit of a working relationship, and that's ended.
Sure.
Okay? And it's also ROH ended its relationship with NWA recently. Mm-hmm. So that'll no longer be there.
Oh, no more NWA championship being defended on television.
Yeah, that really made no sense why ROH got out of it. Yeah, they must have got a lot of money or something because there wasn't much NWA could offer them. But now ROH is teaming up with CMLL to do Global Wars E-Spectacular, they're calling it, where they're going to do a couple shows, bringing over a bunch of luchadors to fight on ROH's in the United States. Now, I have a list of here of some of these guys that'll be signed for this tour, okay?
Okay.
Caristico, I'm not sure who he is. I've never seen him. Mm-hmm. Volador Jr. I've seen. Stuka Jr. I've seen. Yep. Triton I've seen. Barbaro Cavanaro, which basically is the caveman barbarian. I've seen him. He's pretty funny. Hekiero I've never seen. Ray Bucanero I have seen. He's pretty interesting. Kind of a piratey thing going on. And Ukamura, who I have no idea who that is. But this will be interesting to see how this is the kind of thing ROH needs to do, to put a bit of a transfusion into its talent right now, and I'm really hoping that this is something that works out for them.
Are they doing their top prospect tournament soon as well?
That's probably coming up. It seems like that thing happens a lot, and now NXT's doing it, and it's kind of takes away from ROH's in a way. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens. But that's all I have for news. Do you have anything to throw out there this week?
I actually have a bit of NXT news. I'm not sure. This is, I believe, was coming from the Wrestling Observer, but apparently we don't cover WWE, but on the show. But this one has to do with the NXT brand. But apparently WWE will be holding out tryouts here in Ontario, and because there's thought of branching out and forming another NXT brand, NXT Canada.
Now you're only bringing this up because you've signed on, haven't you?
How did you guess?
The gentleman Elio will be wrestling. They have
a gentleman on their roster. Come on.
Don't they have Jack Gallagher?
Yeah, he's on NXT UK. This is NXT Canada.
Sorry, I know it's a sore spot. I had to bring him up. Well, Elio, I'm pretty sure if there's a featherweight division, you're going to conquer.
And I also have an AEW news. Apparently, the door is open for Stephen Amell to possibly enter AEW since Arrow won't be returning to television.
Okay.
So
that's what you call ridiculousness. A guy who makes millions of dollars on television, right? Just because his current show is being canceled, he's gonna go join AEW. Come on, man.
And then we know how MJF is signed to AEW. He recently appeared on Talk is Jericho, where he explained how it's possible for him to work for both MLW and AEW.
And what did he say?
Originally, he had signed a 3-year contract with MLW. However, at the time, the contract stated he could not work for WWE, but it did not say anything about AEW as it did not exist yet at that point.
Oh, wow. So they didn't really cross their T's and dot their I's as harsh as they should have. Interesting. Yep. Interesting.
And that's all the news I have on my end.
Well, excellent. Well, you know what, folks? Usually at this point of the program, we go to the New Japan news and goings on, but we like to also throw, if there's a pay-per-view that we think should be worth mentioning, we do that now. And I'm going to bring up one we've talked about for a little bit over the last while. It was MLW's Never Say Never live report from New York City, by the way. This is right from New York City. The Melrose Ballroom. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty. Now, I wrote down the notes here, and we're going to go over some of this. There was some interesting matches. Some people you've never heard. We're going to skip the ones we've never heard, or people we don't really know.
Okay.
There was a very short match with Mance Warner defeating Ricky Martinez. Wow. Ricky Martinez seems to lose all the time, so I'm not even sure why they give him a name. But and Mance, come on, man. Knee pad goes down, knee pad goes up, and then it goes down again. Anyhow, Low key went on that continuous. He's been like defeating everybody in like just seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
This
if you
time,
blink, you'll miss it.
Yeah, this time he kicked Jimmy Yuta under the chin, knocked him straight out.
Oh wow! Okay.
Now a match that I'm hoping that fans that they will put on to the Fusion show on YouTube so that most people can get it is Davey Boy Smith Jr. defeating Timothy Thatcher. Now, this is a match I've wanted to see for a while. Timothy Thatcher has been a wrestler, has been through Evolve and some other places. He's a very interesting, different style of wrestler, and just waiting for him kind of to break into the national scene. And hopefully this is just the start. Rumor has it that he has been talking a lot to MLW. I don't know if he's actually going to be shown more, but it's leaning towards that we might be seeing him a little bit more down the road.
When you first said that name, I couldn't remember who you're talking about. But then I was thinking about the name, and I couldn't see the face. So I know who Timothy Thatcher is.
All right. Now here is, I know this group just formed. We're going to mention them when we get to the MLW segment. I know you love these guys. They call themselves Injustice. They are the team of Myron Reed, Jordan Oliver, and now joined by Cotto Brazil.
I'm sure you're mistaken.
No, it really was Cotto Brazil. Defeated.
Sorry, before you go on, is Cotto Brazil a heel?
Yeah, he is now, and I'm going to get to that when we get to the MLW thing. Okay.
All right.
They defeat the team of Airwolf, Senshi, and Gringo Loco. Wow, Gringo Loco losing? Who would have thought?
Gringo Loco, what?
Yeah, that guy never wins. Anyways. Then we had a match with Brian Pillman Jr. defeating Richard Holiday, which was a straight-up okay match. Pillman, sometimes I want to dump on him, but he is actually exciting. He does have some moves in him. He's still green. He still does a lot of stuff where you go, wow, why did he even try to do that? But I see good things coming from him. A guy that we focused on this week's MLW, Bestia 666 defeats Ray Horace.
This guy, I don't know, just like Beastie 666. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't they already have Los Angeles Park wearing all the death stuff?
That's what I was thinking when I saw this guy. I was like, wait a minute, don't they already have a Los Angeles Park and an Elio de Los Angeles Park?
Yeah, what do you need Bestia 666 for? I don't know.
What, are we gonna have Elio de Bestia 666?
His son, only 12, but ready to worship the devil and wrestle. I don't know. I guess. This was a pretty good match, though. It wasn't a great match, but it was pretty good. Good luchadors kind of stuff. This one, okay, we had been talking about this, and it just fell flat. National Openweight champion Alex Hammerstone defeats Savio Vega in a pretty quick match that wasn't so great.
Wow.
So, after all that hype of bringing in Savio, they just kind of squashed him out pretty quick. In the Battle of the Austins, we had Ace Austin losing to Austin Aries.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was an okay match. Austin Aries, he's looking, I haven't seen him really wrestle for a while, so this was entertaining. He's still got the moves. Want somebody to beat the magician out of Ace Austin, though. I'm not going to say that. MLW middleweight champion Teddy Hart making a successful title defense against MJF. And after all his big mouthing, it was kind of nice to see MJF get his butt kicked. Teddy still exciting as ever. I mean, he pulls off another Canadian destroyer off the ropes for the sort of pin, and the guy's just amazingly fun to watch. So I'm glad they didn't take the belt off him yet. In the main event, we had Jacob Fatu defeating Tom Lawler in their rematch from the last pay-per-view where Lawler lost the belt. Really good match, but like once again, Contra falling right back on interference and things to secure the win. It was kind of weird because when Fatu won the thing, he actually did it kind of cleanly. So it's sad that defense has gone back to him having to use the other members of Contra to help him out. Then one of your favorite guys of all, Hio de Los Angeles Park, defeating Zenshi. So I'm not sure who that is. I saw him. He's obviously somebody very new. I've heard. I think I've heard some news about him, and I just couldn't place it. That's what happens when you watch like 5 episodes of New Japan in like 7 days. It's your mind melts a little bit for new people. In the main event, I got to the main event. I didn't even want to watch it. Okay, I don't mind Los Angeles Park, but Jimmy Havoc and a street fight. Anyways, Los Angeles Park wins it. It was okay. Was
this two heels?
Yeah, this is pretty much heel versus heel. But you know what? Los Angeles Park, he kind of gets like a lot of cheer for him, despite the fact he is a heel.
Yeah, that's what confuses me. It's like he's a heel. We know that. Yet people cheer for him.
I don't know, man.
It's like PCO. He has a PCO is part of a heel's faction, yet people cheer for him.
Well, I'm not sure what to say about that. But you're right. It's true, and it's hard to keep sometimes the momentum going of who to cheer for when you see that sort of thing, eh?
Yep.
So, well, that's it for that pay-per-view. I'm going to say it's kind of weird. It was an okay one, but there was like a bunch of new wrestlers I didn't recognize. It seems like Ace Austin. They sure use him a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of him yet. It's good to see the Hart Dynasty and the Dynasty all over the place. And like I said, Contra. Just when I thought they were legitimizing themselves, this pay-per-view made me think less of them. So I know you've not been a Contra fan at all, but
not really. No.
But you know what? We'll talk a little bit more about MLW when we get to the MLW segment of the show. Let's go in now to talk about New Japan. All right.
Okay, New Japan.
Now we've got days 8, 9, 10, and 11 to look at. Since our last thing. It was a lot. It's a lot. I'm going to go over the key matches. Tell you which one I thought was the match of the night to definitely watch for, okay?
I'm pretty sure I know which one for day 9.
Okay.
Day 9. Or is it day 8? I believe it's...
okay, don't take...
Kazuchika Okada and Kenta, right?
Yes, that is definitely the one at 9. So we're going to go over it here. Mm-hmm. Okay, on day 8, Juice Robinson defeating Toru Yano, in which was a pretty short but funny match where... Robinson actually out-tricked Yano, which was pretty funny. This one, oh man, Goto's got to be feeling like crap to lose to Tai Chi of all people.
Oh.
Now,
you know what? That's it. I'm changing my pick. I'm picking Tai Chi to win the G1.
This is only like his second win, dude. Calm down. John Moxley continues his unbeaten streak by defeating Shingo. He really took it to Shingo. This is probably the weakest I've seen Shingo ever since we've been following him. Moxley kicked the crap out of him. There's no doubt about that. Jay White defeating Jeff Cobb through a little bit of trickery at the end. And
okay, I'm happy Jay White picked up his first win, but I'm not exactly happy about who he beat.
True. Now you know what? Jay White is claiming after this victory that he is going to go the next 6 straight without losses.
Oh, okay. You know what? I found out what Jay White's problem is.
Constipation?
It's the guy that's hanging around at ringside whenever he's out there for his matches.
Gato, that guy sucks.
He's terrible. He just needs to go away.
Ugh. You know what, though? He's not as worse as the other guy. Remember the Jado guy who hangs out with in the bone costume with the Bullet Club? That guy's even worse.
Oh, okay. All right.
Alrighty. Then in the main event of that night, Naito defeating Ishii, which was a really surprise quick ending there. Looking over the 5 matches, I definitely would say the Jay White versus Jeff Cobb was probably the most exciting match. May not have had the win that you'd hope for some people, but it was a very good match. Day 9, Kota Ibushi defeats Lance Archer. Will Ospreay defeats Bad Luck Fale. Evil defeats Zack Sabre Jr. Tanahashi defeats Sonata. And in the match that I say for you fans to go out and watch, Kazuchika Okada defeats Kenta in a really good match. Both guys went in tied at the top of the tournament. This was very key for Okada. Okada takes the 2 points, puts Kenta down as a possible 4 points. So this, Kenta is going to have to hope now that Okada loses some matches and that he wins more to get back up into a tie with him at least.
Bad Luck Fale. So we said he's already fallen. He's he's in last place with 2 points.
Yeah, after going into day 12, he'll also be down at like 1 victory. Okay, on day 10, this one I like this. Goto defeating Yano. It's a fun match. It's only like 2 minutes long. And
I'm sorry. Is there a break between day 11 and
12? Yes.
Like, is there?
There'll be.
Okay, cool. So whatever I miss, I can go back and watch.
Yes. Okay, so the match on day 10, Goto defeating Yano was actually only a 2, maybe 3 minute match that was actually pretty funny and had a pretty cool ending with Goto pinning Yano in a very unique way.
Okay.
Now this match I was almost going to pick for match of the night, but then another match came even better. Ishii defeating Juice Robinson. This was a really hard-hitting match. Juice tried to outslap, outpunch, and out-headbutt Ishii. And they went to it was brutal, man. How those two guys didn't knock the crap out of each other, I'm not sure. But Ishii takes the win. Jeff Cobb gets well, I would hope he would beat Tai Chi, but he did. Jeff Cobb beats Tai Chi.
Oh, he better.
Jay White defeats Shingo. And in the main event, I'm going to have to say the main event of the night is my pick for fans to look out for. Jon Moxley, keeping his undefeated streak alive, his 5th straight victory, defeating Naito in a very fun match where he mocked Naito, did the whole thing, did the running and the flipping, the falling down, looking at the scars, doing the whole crap. It was pretty fun to see, and then got serious outside with a lot of butt kicking.
Jon Moxley's killing it.
He's killing it this year in the tournament. Day 11. Ibushi defeats Fale. Well, no big surprise there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pick this match as the match of the night. Usually I've been picking the main events, but this match, Will Ospreay defeating Zack Sabre Jr. was awesome. It's a very, you've got Ospreay, the whole off the top rope fast maneuver versus Sabre, who slows you down and ties you up. Really cool match. Really cool match.
And breaks your fingers.
Yeah. Okada defeats Lance Archer, but Lance Archer looking pretty good. I'm going to say he might end up being the breakout star of this tournament this year. He is really... He went in there with nobody thought he would do much, and we even talked about we didn't think he was going to do much. He's really made a presence. Also on day 11, this surprised me, is Sonata defeating Kenta. Puts Kenta even farther down. And in the main event that night, Tanahashi defeating Evil. So... where does that put us now? We are now into day 12 will be coming up. So that means each side has taken 5 matches. Now, I'm going to go over right now the standings for Block A. Elio, you go over the standings for Block B, and we'll see how things have been looking and how we guessed, okay?
All right.
Now, in Block A, we have at number 1, Kazuchika Okada with 12 points. Kenta with 8. Hiroshi Tanahashi with 8. Kota Ibushi with 8. Evil with 6. Then we have a 4-way tie with Lance Archer, Will Ospreay, Sonata, and Zack Sabre Jr. at 4, and Bad Luck Fale at 2. Now, going into this, we said to keep our eyes on Okada and Kenta. Well, they're at the top at 12 and 8.
Right.
At this point, we both thought here, Tanahashi would be a lot lower actually. I expected Ibushi to be doing better than he has, and I expected Evil to be doing better than 6 points. Lance Archer, I expected nothing, and yet he's already got 2 victories, which is probably 2 more than I thought he would get. Sonata, not doing the best either. 2 matches out of the 6 that has been in is not the greatest for him. Zack Sabre Jr. has had a terrible tournament.
Yeah, really bad.
I think he's mathematically eliminated right now with who he has left to face. And Bad Luck Fale, well, we knew he wasn't going anywhere, so...
we knew he would fall all the way back to the end of the line.
Yeah, so, okay, let's take a look at Block B. Tell us who we got.
Right, so Block B, we have Jon Moxley at the top with 10 points. Then we have Tomohiro Ishii and Juice Robinson with 6. Shingo, Toriano, Taichi, and Naito, and Jeff Cobb, and Jay White and Goto all have 4. So, I can't believe Taichi's doing, the points that he has here.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be all the way down at the bottom.
Yeah, well, it's still early days in that block. I still think he's going to finish at the bottom. Looking at that Moxley, I was reluctant to pick Moxley. I thought he was a dark horse, but he has been undefeated, and he's looked very strong in this tournament.
Yep.
Naito, I thought a lot better for him in this tournament. He has not been delivering very well at all. Ishii's been looking great.
Yep.
Right now, I'm going to have to say my picks so far are definitely... I'm still going to ride on Kenta making a comeback for Block A, and I'm still picking Jon Moxley for Block B.
I'm going with Okada in Block A and Moxley in Block B.
Ooh, you're playing it safe. Might be the smarter move. Well, fans, you know what? We were only up to day 11. There's still plenty more to go. We're going to be slogging through it for the next couple weeks. But let's face it, we say slogging, but this has been some of the best wrestling I've seen in a long time. So at this time, folks, we're going to take a little bit of break. When we get back, we're going to be talking about NXT UK. We're going to talk some MLW Fusion and some ROH TV. Maybe do a bit of the book, and who knows what other crap will throw your way. All right. So we'll see you guys in a minute.
Hello, this is Miguel Cole from the Wrestling POV podcast. Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global is affiliated with the Collar and Elbow brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com and save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Collar and Elbow has t-shirts, hoodies, sunglasses, and more. And the best part, you're helping out your local indie wrestlers. And you're helping out the best wrestling podcast of all, Wrestling POV and Wrestling POV Global. You don't want to miss out. So save yourself 10% by using promo code WPOV. Oh my goodness!
What's up? This is Jeff Cobb. You're listening to WPOV Global.
All right, fans. That was a great break. Elio, did you finish your bottle?
Yes, sir.
Do you still have...
I did finish my bottle.
You're on to the next one, aren't you?
I am. How'd you guess?
How can you guzzle 40 ounces in under 30 minutes? That's amazing. My goodness. Anyhow, fans, before he gets all flirtatious with all you women out there, let's talk a bit about some NXT UK.
NXT UK, and here we are back in Derby, England once again.
Did we ever leave?
And
sorry.
I think we've camped out to there for the past several weeks.
It seems that it really feels that way. But let's go on with the show.
Okay, so in the opening match, we had a battle of the former friends as Kenny Williams took on Oasis's #1 superfan Noam Dar.
What do you think of this match?
And it was Dar pulling out the win with a low blow followed by the Nova Roller.
And
actually, that's what that commentator called it. So I thought that they were just making words up.
Yeah. I have a hard time buying Kenny Williams. I mean, he's so small and skinny. He just doesn't even look like a wrestler. At least Noam Dar looks like a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Kenny Williams looks like the guy who comes to your house and mows your lawn for money. I mean, he's certainly talented and stuff, but it's a hard time. It's a hard sell for me. I thought this match was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, it was not. I have written here not a bad opening match.
All right, next.
And then we had a promo with the grizzled young veterans saying how
next. Skip their crap. Next.
Then we had NXT UK's first ever 6-woman tag match with Ginny, Jazzy Gabbert, and Kaylee Ray picking up the win over Saya Brookside, Piper Niven, and Toni Storm, with Ginny hitting the face buster in the corner for the win. Okay,
looking at this match, right? Looking at these 6 competitors, all right? Ginny, man, she does not look like a wrestler. She just looks like this skinny little weird chick. Not digging her.
Although she does look good. She does look better as a manager.
Yes. She looks better not in the ring. How's that?
There we go.
Jazzy Gabbert, she really looks like she's holding back a lot. I've seen her before she came to NXT. I expect more out of her, and I'm not getting a lot out of her. And Kaylee Ray,
You know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm not sold on Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, Kaylee Ray, she's someone else who just, I don't know why they're pushing her to the moon, because they haven't really shown us much about her. They just throw her in there, and we're supposed to expect that she's going to be like the big number one contender, and it's like we haven't even seen her do anything except run away a lot. On the flip side, Toni Storm, I kind of dig her. I'm starting to dig her more and more. Her wrestling's pretty good. Piper Niven seemed to have a weak match here. She seemed really out of place a lot of this. I don't know. It wasn't a really good showing for her. However, Xia Brookside, I gotta say, I really enjoyed her this week. I'm finding I'm enjoying her more and more. I know I was pretty negative about her in the beginning, but I gotta say I enjoyed her this week.
Yeah, I'm liking Xia Brookside. See, Nina Samuels, you're out. And Xia Brookside's in.
All right. Now, now, before you go on, okay? Before you go on.
Yes, sir.
If you mention Dave Mastiff, I am going to punch you. So go for it now.
He who shall not be named speaks next week.
Oh, you still... Okay.
I didn't mention his name.
I just was trying to give you a subtle hint that we don't even have to talk about him. Anyways, go on.
Okay, well, here we go. On to the main event. It was Trent Seven taking on Walter. And this match ended via referee stoppage.
Man. Do you remember how excited we were last week after Trent Seven gave such a tremendous promo?
Yeah, we were looking forward to this match. And like this match, at the beginning, I was like, okay, this should be a good match. Then, I don't know, somewhere in the match along the way it fell apart.
Yeah, it was sort of like as soon as the bell hit, it just went to shit. I mean, it was not, I don't know, Trent Seven gave an impassioned plea so he could get his head kicked in. Because that's what happened here. He didn't really do much but get his ass kicked quite a bit. When you say
I mean, you can try to beat up on Walter, but it won't have any effect on him.
No, and folks, when Elio says it was stopped by referee stoppage, it was because Walter just kept continuously power slamming,
powerbomb,
and then not pinning him, and it got to the point where the referee was feeling sorry for broken old Trent Seven, who now should be Trent 32 because that's how many pieces his spine was in at the end of this match. Man, I don't know. I guess I feel this is the time where I feel it's like in wrestling. This sometimes happens. You get so hyped up for what you think is going to be a great match, and you get delivered garbage. That's kind of what this was, because I expected so much more out of this match, and it basically Walter could have beat up anybody, and it would still have been the same thing. Alrighty.
I don't know. This one, I'm going to have to go with the C-.
Yeah, you know what? This was one of the weaker and kind of disappointing ones for a while. I'm going to give it a D. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
I mean, every time I start watching it, and I hope, and I have a feeling and hope that it's going to be a good show, it turns out to be not so good.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Okay, let's look at this week's MLW Fusion. And Usually I don't talk about a lot of the things, but I'm going to talk about some of the things today because they have some pertinence to what we're going to talk about later. We open up with Selena De La Renta in the ring saying how she is going to make Mance Warner pay for all his crap. But she thanked him for getting rid of that warthog Sami Callihan, which I thought was pretty funny.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, man, for getting rid of Sammy.
And then she says she made a deal with the devil, and out comes... Wow. Yeah, Bestia 666. Now, he defeats Mance Warner in a death match only because at the end of the match, Selena hands Bestia like a bag full of powder or icing sugar or baking soda. Who knows what the hell it is? Anthrax. Who knows?
I have a question.
Yes.
What's a death match? Isn't that just another way of saying a no disqualification match?
Yeah, there's a gazillion ways you can call these things. Last man standing, whatever. Yeah, this was just a no rules match. Now, you know what? Bestia gets the win after throwing powder into the face of Mance and then taking him down and beating him. But I really enjoyed this match until a few things kind of irked me a little. Okay? The tacks were definitely not cool. Mance Warner taking tacks to the forehead and the head, not cool.
Yeah.
Even Jim Cornette on commentary saying, they got to stop these matches, man. This is going too far.
Yeah.
They're right.
Yeah.
They're right. I like Mance. He's a better wrestler than this, okay? He's entertaining. He doesn't need to be taking tacks in the head and the face and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Up until that happened, Elio, I was like, man, this is what a cool death match should be. Like, nobody's really doing outrageous crap to kill each other. They're just doing some good storytelling wrestling. And then the tax thing happened, and I was kind of a little bit disappointed. So they're going to continue the story now, this should have Matt's kind of losing that ticket that he stole, and let's see which more trouble he has with Selena's gang down the road. Now,
of course, Conan got involved at one point as well.
Yeah, well, in this, I don't know.
Oh no! Wait, that was sorry.
Yeah,
that was the other.
Yeah, he didn't actually get. What he did is he had his phone. Remember, he had Selena's phone. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of. He kept taunting her because he had his phone, her phone.
Yeah.
Then we go. We see this. Okay. This is where this is where wrestling makes me mad. Okay, and somebody's going in the book over this one. Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
So you introduce out of nowhere, out of all of your episodes, you introduce in one episode Georgia Smith, right? Last week we introduced her. She has an interview with Alex Hammerstone. She calls him a dick or whatever. And then conveniently next week, there's pictures of her getting on an elevator with him and them kissing. I mean, there's no build up there, so it just feels like cheap crap. You know what I mean? Maybe if she'd been around for a couple weeks and we got to know her a bit as a character, but it's so obvious that this was such a dumb story. Just too quick. So let's see what else we had. We had those idiots, Oliver and what do they call themselves? Injustice. Here's another thing I want to put in the book, okay? Okay. And I don't know how I'm going to put it in the book, but just because somebody, let's say Richard Swann, just because he's short, black, doesn't mean because he's not wrestling we could just substitute him with another short black guy. Because, I mean, that's all they did. I mean, they threw Cotto Brazil out of nowhere into the place of Rich Swann, and he kind of even...
So there was no explanation for the heel turn.
Not really. I mean, they said there was these, he gave all these, lame stories, but it just was the fact that you took a small African-American wrestler and replaced him with another African-American small wrestler who looks so much like the other guy you replaced him with that we're not really supposed to notice.
Wow.
I just think that's incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. I mean, it just plays on how... Do they think we're that dumb? Apparently. Okay, next match. Ricky Martinez, who never wins a match, decides that he's going to go out. He tells Selena he demanded a rematch with Low Ki and that he was going to get his revenge and show him up. And Low Ki beats the crap out of him. And knocks him out. Again. And then when he's leaving the ring, Selena comes over, starts whispering over to Conan. He looks like he's buying it. And then he tells her to come closer to tell her something. And he just walks away. That was funny. Just burns her. Low Ki going on his continuous, stomping people out business. I don't know where that's going to end, but I guess we'll see. We have a few comments from the Von Erichs, which I'm glad we finally got to see them wrestle because at least on Fusion, I went back and I watched the Fusion before I went back and watched the pay-per-view. They were a little bit more exciting than I thought they would be. I'll give them that. Okay. Okay. So we have this thing with Tom Lawler, who was he ends up biting like a chain link fence. He actually bites it, which was okay.
Ouch.
And then announces that he wants to not only taste Fatu's blood, but his entrails and his soul, because he wants to taste his life. Wow.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's dark.
And then he tells them that he is going to war with the Contra unit in War Chamber. Okay. Then we see your favorite announcer, Casey Lennox.
I'm sure you're mistaken. She has a last name.
Yes, now she has a last name. I was hoping you didn't notice that.
Jeez.
So she goes and takes the footage of Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s sister making out with Alex Hammerstone and shows it to him in the bar. Not sure what she thought he was going to do there, but he stomps off mad. Teddy Hart, acting like the biggest airhead in the world, says, "Wait, Davey, maybe she was helping him with something," or... I was like, okay, all right, Teddy. Maybe you just need to wrestle more. Alrighty. So finally, the main event. Marshall and Ross Von Erich defeat Joseph Samuel and Simon Gotch in an unsanctioned match. Unsanctioned because MLW said they were not going to sanction this match. The Von Erichs wanting to teach a lesson to Contra Unit. I gotta say, you know what? I actually enjoyed the Von Erichs more than I thought they would. There was a part of me that's kind of that bitter, jaded part of being like, these are just guys riding off someone else's, like relatives' names. They were actually exciting.
Yep.
I enjoyed them a lot. And they take the win. And it was hilarious because there was a part in the match where like Samuel was like ready to throw a fireball. And Ross runs in with a chair and blocks the fireball and then hits Samuel with the chair. And then Marshall gets the pin. Soon as the pin happens, Von Erich starts celebrating. They win. But of course, Simon Gotch jumps in, attacks him from behind. Full brawl breaks out. All goes into the back where they show Fatu come in and he attacks. And then Tom Lawler goes after Fatu and then we're off to the credits. Interesting and fun show. Little bit disappointed at how crazy out of hand with the tax and things were. I mean, had it not been for the tax, I might have given this an A. I'm going to give it a B this week.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a B this week. We already talked. We already did a poll on this with these hardcore matches and thumbtacks and all that. Yeah.
So
not a fan.
And you know what? Mance Warner is one of my favorite wrestlers, so I was a bit disappointed that he was the one taking thumbtacks to the face.
Mm-hmm.
So, alrighty. You know what?
Mance, you're better than that.
Yeah, you are, Mance. You know it. All right, let's go on to ROH, and I believe you got the report this week.
I do have ROH, and this week ROH is in Philadelphia at the 2300 Arena, and we open up with Silas Young taking on Josh Woods, and this was a really short match. Silas Young opened up with telling Woods that he's been here for 2 years and not done anything. And then he delivers a low blow and picks up the win after doing the low blow. So, short match. I don't even know what to say about this one.
Yeah. Sometimes you know the guys, and then sometimes when you see the things happen, you're just like kind of flat.
Like, when he said Josh Woods has been here for 2 years, I was going back. I'm like, okay, so that's why I don't know who Josh Woods was, because I just started watching it last year, ROH. True that. Then we have TJ's favorite team, the Shinobi Shit Squad, defeating Joe Keys, Brian Johnson, and Dante Caballero.
Notice how the Shit Squad only defeats teams that don't actually have names or people you ever recognize in them. And Brian
I'm the only one that picks up on these names.
And Brian Johnson, isn't he kind of old? Isn't that the lead singer of AC/DC? Isn't he a little bit old to be wrestling?
Yeah, what's going on?
Guess he was thunderstruck by the Shit Squad.
Then we have Carissa Rivera making her ROH debut, defeating Sumi Sakai.
Yeah, Sumi Sakai is old. I'm just going to throw that out there.
You know what? This one wasn't a bad match. I kind of like Carissa Rivera, but I want to see more before I can really say like much more about.
Agreed.
What I think.
Agreed. Here's someone else that they throw somebody out of nowhere to us. I mean, they just showed last week. Next week, Carissa Rivera, and it's like, who's Carissa Rivera?
Well, So I want to see more from her before I can actually say anything. But I like what I saw in her debut.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we had Roosh and Dragon Lee defeating the Briscoes in the main event. This match, I said this off air. I said the Briscoes, their matches are hit and miss, and they have their ups and downs. This was one of their ups, because I really enjoyed this one.
It was a very solid match, and I guess this puts Roosh and Dragon Lee in contention. I mean, the Briscoes are the tag team champions. Really good match. The Briscoes once again showing their snuff. How are you going to rate this week's show?
This one, again, last week we said it wasn't good, but it wasn't good, but it wasn't great. This week was a little better, actually. So I'm going to give this one maybe a B.
B, nice. I'm going to give it a B minus, only because I wish they'd give us maybe a package on who the hell Carissa Rivera was.
I don't want to have to do ROH's homework for them.
Josh Woods versus Silas Young. Short is okay. I'm tired of the Shinobi Shit Squad. I mean, who cares? And
But I thought they were your favorite team.
no, you thought wrong. You're the one mistaken. How much tequila have you been drinking? As for the main event, I got to give it to you. The Briscoes always put on a good show for me. I think they're mostly hits than misses. And Rush and Dragon Lee, I did not give them any chance going in here, and they showed themselves to be a pretty good team. So I'm gonna have to give this, like I said, a B-.
Ooh, could ROH have made it onto the board?
What's that?
Could ROH have made it onto the board?
I don't know. Let's take a check.
In the race. Oh, this should be interesting.
I think they will, because I think NXT UK had a pretty crappy offering this week.
NXT UK had an awful week.
All right. So who would fit in this? Who would get the points for first place this week?
Okay, so we had last week we had NXT in first with 6.
That can't be right. NXT should have been in.
No, sorry. It was NXT in second with 6. It was MLW in first with 9, and ROH in last place with 0.
Okay. So what are we thinking this week? What do our votes look like?
Okay, so we gave NXT UK. What did we grade that one? B-. That's
NXT UK.
I say NXT UK is last.
Yeah, I gave it D. I think we both gave it D.
Yeah, I see it. See, NXT UK is
0.
0.
Okay.
0. MLW with 1, and I'm gonna give ROH the 2
All right.
this week.
Sounds good. So ROH finally makes the board. That's excellent. Well, folks, hopefully they're not on the continuous slide down the toilet. We'll have to see.
They're finally up on the board, so this is good.
Excellent. Well, you know what?
It'll be interesting to see how they go in the coming weeks.
All right. Now you know what? Let's go to the Book of Shame. We haven't done it. I haven't been wholeheartedly on it lately. I got some venom in me today. All right.
Are you an angry man this week?
I am an angry man. I was drinking piss and vinegar. I ran out of vinegar, so now I'm just drinking piss. All right.
Oh no!
Wow, that came out really bad. Anyhow, let's open that book and see what kind of losers we got to deal with.
All right, we got our first entry is Ace Austin.
You suck, Ace Austin. Wish Austin Aries kicked the cards right out of your ass. You stay in.
And then we have TJ's favorite NXT UK star, Dave Mastiff.
That's your favorite. He's just a cartoon loser to me. And a very short loser, by the way. Anyhow, next.
Facade.
Facade. You just make me chuckle every week, and I don't even plan to chuckle. As soon as you say your name, your goofy-ass look comes to me. Your trailer tash, horrible cosmic cowboy crap that you're trying to do. I don't know. You just make me laugh. Definitely you're still in.
Okay, then we have that word that begins with F.
Yeah, that's always in.
Hey, Jimmy Havoc.
Ew. You gross Jimmy Havoc. You're in. You look like some idiot who got all his fingernails caught in the door. That's why they're all black. Ugh.
Kenny King.
Huh? What? Oh, Kenny King's wrestling. I guess I better sleep some more. Yeah, he's definitely in for out of pure boredom.
Next, we have Madman Fulton.
He's starting to fade away. Since we don't watch Impact, I don't even remember him anymore.
So what do you think? Should we take him out?
Who's he hang out with?
OVW?
He stays in. He stays in.
Okay.
It's by
Nigel
association.
McGuinness.
Ugh.
Nigel McGuinness.
I cannot stand Nigel McGuinness. He stays in.
And we have Sammy Callahan times 5.
Ugh, Sammy Callahan. Thank God I don't have to see your gross disgustingness. Although I understand you like beating on women continuously, so why don't we throw another little asterisk up there because you suck that
I
hard.
agree. Sammy Callahan times 6.
Yes.
Take it away, Rick.
You just read the book of shame.
Then we have Casey Lennox, you said her name is?
Oh, Lawton? What the hell did I say her name was? Casey...
Key. Lennox, I believe you said.
Yeah, I think Lennox. Okay, yeah. She stays in. She's tremendously terrible. Terrible. Horrible. That sounds like a word.
The Chris brothers.
Ugh, they're not even worth mentioning. They make me want to throw up. Next.
The Hunt.
The Hunt. If I was 12, I would think they were awesome. But I'm not, so they suck ass. Next.
And our final entry is Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer. You deserve to be eternally in this book. Until you die of a horrific cancer-like based accident, I'm still going to give you the crap you deserve. Yeah, you're still in there, buddy. Now I have
Okay, and now we have our new entry.
I have a new entry for this week.
Okay.
And it, I am going to put in this week Kodo Brazil.
Okay.
Because the whole situation that all of a sudden I'm supposed to like close my eyes and forget that you were Rich Swann a while ago, and all of a sudden the same character is played by a similar short African American, same dark tone skin wrestler is just insulting to everyone's intelligence. And your group itself, the whole thing, the skinny little losers that you hang with. Injustice is more like inbred. Don't like it. Don't like them. Kodo Brazil, you jump on a loser train, you get entered in the book.
Damn, Tifa, tell us how you really feel.
Oh, the constrictures of our... Anyhow, you know what, folks?
Okay, Rick, hit it. All right.
You know what, folks? The Book of Shame is just our fun way of... there's just so many stupid things that wrestling can get into, and it's just our way of just having some fun and looking at the absurdity that's part of professional wrestling. Now, you know what, fans? I've had a great week with you guys. You guys have been fun. Elio, yeah, he's drunk. He's 3 sheets to the wind, but he wasn't drunk enough not to hit record, so at least we got a show out of this. And, folks, if you want to drop any comments, say anything give us some suggestions. I mean, we probably won't listen. We're kind of dicks like that. But we don't mind listening to you guys blather at us. We're cool about that. Heck, if you even part of like a sexual addiction club or a 12-step program that you think Elio needs to attend, by all means, drop us a note. You can reach us on Facebook at Wrestling. It's true. You can reach us at Wrestling POV. Tell the other places. Where's all the Instagram crap and all that Twitter nonsense?
You can reach us on Instagram at Wrestling POV1 and Twitter at Wrestling POV. And we're on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. And before we go, we have to mention the SummerSlam pay-per-view points game.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I was just going to mention the guys over at Wrestling POV. They're our sister show, and if you think that Elio is a drunken idiot, wait till you see Tony and Tony Diaz. I mean, that guy, I don't think he's ever sober. You got Rick Serrano III, who, well, I don't know, is he on helium? And Mimi, I'm convinced, is just some poor maid who came to clean the house once, and now they make her watch wrestling. I don't think she knows any of the names of the wrestlers, but she's willing to talk. And folks, they're fun, okay? They make Elio seem like he does speed. And they have coming up. Now, they have a thing called the Wrestling Pay-Per-View Points Game. I always, I have too many P's. Okay, but the Wrestling Pay-Per-View Points Game.
The WPOV Wrestling Pay-Per-View Points Game.
Now, this is your chance to take the card. They give you the card just before it starts. They set down all the matches. You get to wager points on said matches. You determine who you think is going to win, how they're going to win, and you know what, folks? There's even a wacky question if the Spanish announce table. But here's the thing: is you don't just get points; you have to bid the not points you have, and because of that, you could end up losing. And if you lose those points against you. And there have been times, I mean, like there have been many people. Like look at our first game. Remember, like one person was in the positive; everyone else had negative points for their picks. It's a fun way to keep track of the wrestling. It's a fun way to get into it, and there is a $50 gift card to the winner, and or / you can get the mystery box, which has not been won yet. There are some tremendous.
Actually, I believe they were saying this week. I believe on the show they were saying that this time, yeah, you get the box. So
there's no $50 card.
I didn't hear any $50 card. I just heard that this time you just get the box.
All right, folks. Remember, I've been drinking just as much tequila as Elio here. Forget all that $50 card crap. There is a mystery box. And that mystery box...
I'm going to go restock on my tequila once we're done here.
Restock? What, you're going to open the 3 bottles next to you? Anyhow, folks, this mystery box is cool. I know some of the stuff that's gone in there. There's some cool crap, okay? Play this game. You can find our sister show on the same channel you're listening to us on. You can find them. We're out. Yep. We're out every Wednesday, sometimes Thursday. They're out every Saturday, and they're fun. Yeah, sure, they're drunk and as crazy as Elio is, but hey, you have to be sometimes. And you know what, Tony? From all of us up in Canada, we have 12 steps that we think that'll help you get to a better life. Only through the love of Alanis Morissette and the reduction of alcohol in your life, you can find a better place. Tell the people, what was our show on? What was it? Coffee Bean and Starhucks?
Podbean. Podbean.
That's it? Okay, apparently we're only on Podbean this week.
I already mentioned it earlier before you mentioned the points game.
I've been drinking. How the hell am I supposed to know these things?
Okay, once again, for my good friend TJ here, we're on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio.
That's it?
And YouTube.
We're on YouTube? Whack.
Okay,
well, yeah, that's cool, because I got worried that when you just said Podbean, I was like, what? Everyone dropped us on Podbean? Holy smokes. But it's okay, folks, we have not been dropped. We're on all those channels. Folks, I've had a great week. As I can tell, as I hit the bottom of this bottle, and I'm pretty sure Elio's on his fourth right now, it's probably time for us to head off.
4.5.
4.5, my goodness. We are riding off into the sunset to the beautiful sounds of Alanis Morissette in our hearts, Cardi B in our soul. I'll give her a little bit. Give her some loving, okay? Just a little bit. Folks, we'll see you next week. I've been your host, the legend, TJ Logan. Why I'm a legend? I don't know. It's probably only in my mind. But hey, it's my mind. And my co-host, the gentleman / alcoholic / sex addicted, Elio Canella.
Alright, we will talk to you all next week.